my god, everybody is here! And Omega! The miniature model of Omega appears to be staring intently at the Ark. Quay to you, my friend. Alpha appears to be trying to cheer you on. Let's take a picture with Alpha.
Ha-ha! Ha-ha!
Varshan, man is said to fear what he does not know. Yet you would venture into the greatest of unknowns. I say to you, son of man, that you need not fear. So long as man shares a bond with dragonkind, so too does he share our kinship with the heavens, and our ancient home amidst the stars infinite. I pray you go forth and prove this bond of ours. Tempered and tested shall endure, unbroken for 1,000,000 years. First the great Exodus, and now this. It seems there's no end to our work. In truth, more than a few gleaners were distressed to learn that their earlier efforts were for nothing. It was no easy task convincing them that the new plan was for the best. I can tell you that. I can't tell you every man believes this is the wisest course, but I can say that all will be forgiving if you deliver us from the coming doom. And if you don't, well, at least you won't get the earful. I certainly will. It's troubling enough that the brute Sicard left without warning, leaving me to carry all those cumbersome containers. But that he failed to send you off is absurd. What could possibly more deserving of his attention at a time like this? It's no easy thing to say, leave the star to us. But we must, and we will. As proud members of the Scions, we have a duty to uphold. And we needn't do so alone. Those dark days when we were driven from the rising stones and hunted as traitors are a thing of the past. We have allies in abundance now, which is to say you needn't worry about us. Go forth in the knowledge that the Scions will labor without rest in your absence. Bloida. We were quite fortunate the Lopert's hyperhopper was based on principles similar to those of etherology. Integrating it with the Ark's existing systems might as well have been impossible otherwise. We may have Charlene's wealth of knowledge at our disposal, but theirs is technology far beyond anything we have ever studied. You're familiar with teleportation magics, yes? The momentary conversion of the body into ether, that it may travel via the life stream from one physical point to another. Their hyperhopper enables transport through a similar method, but not one involving the life stream. Rather, it utilizes highly condensed ether to create an ethereal current of its own. This current is exponentially faster and more powerful than the naturally occurring ones, to which we are accustomed. So much so, in fact, that ethereal conversion of the physical form is not a prerequisite for traversal. If you are concerned about side effects, such as ethereal sickness, you needn't be. You should emerge at your destination hale and whole. In theory, at the very least, I can assure you it's safer than the experimental etherites you used to reach Erazatan. When Breeder has been on my mind more than ever as late. How different her life might have been if not for our research into teleportation magics. Perhaps she would never have gained an interest in etherological studies. But to abandon our work out of misplaced guilt for who she could have been would be a disservice to the memory of who she was. Nay, it was because of her we found the resolve to carry on. And now we stand at the edge of a new frontier, with a ship ready to bear you into the distant stars and beyond. This Ark is as much her accomplishment as it is ours, and I regret nothing. Mr. Squile tells me your investigations into my theories on Akasha and its relation to the final days has made clear the source of our woes. I am elated to know that my work was of some benefit, but I could not have shared it with you had you not rescued me from the tower that day. I yet owe you a great debt, one I may never fully repay, but I shall try nonetheless. Not only through my research, but through my desire to see you succeed, which I believe may influence the Akasha in our favor. Small though the effect may be, yes, so long as we have hope, there is a chance we may influence the outcome of this calamity. Quite the turnout, wouldn't you say? Then again, who wouldn't want to be present for a once-in-a-lifetime event? I'll send word to the Alliance leaders the very moment the ship takes off. Obviously they couldn't be here, but I'm sure they'll be cheering for you every step of the way. They said work on the Ark is finished, but you certainly wouldn't know by looking at it. Let us hear what Father has to say. That even Wilfson and Broida should be in attendance. It's most unexpected, but I am nonetheless heartened by their presence. This is the pinnacle of etherochemistry, a synthesis of modern innovation and the ancient wisdom of Alec. This Ark's engine appears to be capable of processing condensed ether in quantities I've never even thought possible. For so many to see us off like this seems wholly unnecessary. Still, I'll not begrudge them for wishing us well. So this is the ship that will bear us into Ultima Thule. I wasn't expecting quite so many people to be seeing us off. This is it.
All present and accounted for? Good. As you will have heard, the Ark is ready. All that remains is to board and be on your way.
I've seen my fair share of tight schedules, but this was bloody murder.
Sid and Nero.
But we did it. We finished the ship. It's safe, fit for purpose, and looks good to boot. Aye, it's a garland through and through.
I really don't know what we'd do without you. Thank you for everything.
Don't mention it. Ever since that episode with Omega, I've been toying with the idea of starfaring vessels. And as they say, necessity is the mother of invention. We've learned a lot, let me tell you. In case you're wondering about payment, the ongoing existence of the world ought to do. But feel free to throw in a colorful recounting of your journey on your return. So, have you thought of a name?
A name? Wasn't everyone just calling it Father's teeny tiny toy boat?
Nah, it needs a name.
Seeing as its purpose has changed, I thought a more eloquent name was in order. I suggested as much to Fortuno, who seemed quite amenable to the idea.
As you know, this vessel is the culmination of heretofore unprecedented collaboration. And though said collaboration is owed to the Scions, there is another whose noble deeds made our work possible.
Oh my god, they're playing Twilight over Thanalan. This song has so much meaning to me.
From a fragment of Dalamud, we obtained not only advanced materials such as refined adamantite, but the knowledge to traverse the stars. And this fragment would not have found its way to us had the Archon Louisoix not fought to protect this world, and in so doing, laid down his life. Now that the vessel stands complete, I cannot help but wonder if it was more than mere happenstance. If it was my father's intention to guide us here. In the hopes that his guidance will see you all safely home, I name the vessel after that self-same fragment of Dalamud he delivered unto us. The starship Ragnarok.
The Ragnarok. That's a good name.
Sorry for the wait. I got everyone you asked for, and not a one less.
There's the card. Holy crap! It's all the beast tribes.
What are you all doing here?
Oh, I invited them. The representatives of those tribes with religious inclinations. You've done a fine job of readying the Ragnarok, but for it to take flight, we'll of course need the power of the Mother Crystal. Given its immense size, however, transporting it would be an absolute logistical nightmare, not to mention we'd need to shatter it into tiny shards for feeding to the engines. But a brilliant idea came to me. We convert the crystal's energy into forms that can transport themselves!
Thou wouldst employ summoning. Or should I say its precursor, creation magics.
That's what it is.
Care to explain for our benefit?
Summoning and creation magics are the same.
As you may have witnessed at Bestway's Burrow, the Loporrits are capable of creation magics, which they use to shape the moon's environment. Yet simple though they make it seem, 'tis a highly advanced and exacting art. To perform it correctly requireth that the wielder holdeth the object in his mind's eye in clearest detail.
Hence the ancients' meticulous management of concepts.
Drawing upon this art, the Ascians conceived of summoning as we know it. A derivative that replaceth the complexity of concepts with the simplicity of zealotry to make manifest a creation.
I see. By combining the Loporrit's magics and the tribe's faith, we convert the Mother Crystal into primals of purer form and greater obedience. Summoning as it was intended, one might say.
Indeed! Indeed! While Heidelin gave us the ability to use creation magics, she forbade us from using it to make anything possessed of a soul, or similar. She didn't say anything about fulfilling the desires of others, though. So, borrowing our friend's faith, we'll create deities using the Mother Crystal's power and send them to the Ragnarok!
Am I the only one here concerned about the risk of being turned into a tempered minion?
Oh, right, I was getting to that. From what I've read in Sharlayan tomes, it appears the Ascians incorporated an additional nasty element into their summoning method. The fervent desire to assimilate others into one's belief. Beings thus created are instilled with the self-same desire and use their powers to enthrall people, starting with the summoner. In contrast, our creation magics, the original and the best, except no substitutes, don't incorporate any of that rubbish. So there's no risk of tempering. I mean, if the being was on the scale of Zodiac, you might feel a little tug. But I think we'll be safe enough.
Truth be told, I do not understand the intricacies of this plan. But none of us would ever turn our backs on you. When the avatars of our faith ran amok, you intervened without decrying we who birthed them. Where others vilified and suppressed us, you offered understanding and friendship.
That's right.
In gratitude, we will share with you the true expressions of our gods. Not malevolent deities, but benevolent saviors.
Alright, you lot, we're heading to the ethereal sea. Stay in sight, else you're liable to get lost.
Lead the way.
This is so awesome.
May we have a moment? In anticipation of the day man might journey to the stars, we developed these.
Portable teleportation devices. One for each of you, designed to work in tandem. Press the button on one, and in a matter of moments, all 8 will activate and send their owners back to the Ragnarok. There is no telling what hazards you may encounter. If you find yourself separated or lost, please do not hesitate to use them. Be safe, all of you, and come back.
You as well. I pray you take care.
Looks like everything is in order, so I'll go ahead and board. A few of my fellows will remain to assist with the summonings, but rest assured, the vessel won't want for competent crewing.
If you are ready, then you should board as well. Go, and Godspeed.
If you would come this way, I will direct you to the bridge. Upon boarding the Ragnarok, several cutscenes will play in sequence. This is it, fellow Scions. We're going on a new journey. To the end of the universe and back.
Welcome to the bridge, everyone! I hope you have everything, because I can't be bothered turning back. Right then, make yourselves comfortable. We're setting off in just a moment.
It's incredible.
This is Fortuno. Can you hear me? The preparations for the summonings are complete. In accordance with the 14th phase of the plan, we have moved the Ragnarok to the launch site. The gates are open. You may depart when ready.
As ready as we'll ever be. Let's get going.
Oh, come on! A burnt-out star's got more fire in its belly! Try it again! With feeling!
Have Alphino do the honors.
Me? But I...
No need to be coy, brother. Do it, and do it well.
If you all insist.
Onward unto the distant stars and beyond!
Ragnarok, engage!
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 Oh, what a Power Rangers moment. This is the vision that we had in 1.0. All the primals. Bismarck. King Moggle Mog. Garuda.
That I must carry landwalkers into the sky. I cannot imagine a greater indignity.
Too bad.
Do not shout so, for thy mighty winds exist not only to buffet and batter. Nay, they may serve also to thrust forth with vigor. Such is thy glory, and thus it is an occasion to rejoice. So come, let us revel!
All the gods are on our side.
So long as the wind blows freely, I suppose all is as it should be in creation. I will render unto them a storm, that they may pierce the firmament and fly free!
All that ether. It's like we're entering hyperspace.
Still in one piece? Good. Sleeping way? Report?
All's well. Fantastic, even. Thanks to the power of those primals, the engines are roaring and we're ripping along.
All values are also within projected ranges. Time to destination is 8 carats. Perhaps 7 at a pinch.
All right. Let's go over some points of caution. Our destination, as you know, is Ultima Thule. Lest you wonder, the place is not a star so much as a patch of emptiness. That's the extent of what our equipment could determine, anyway. From what we know of Meteon, she's likely used dynamis to obfuscate her location.
So, in conclusion, we'll only know what's there when we get there.
The crew and I will see to it the ship's ready to take off at a moment's notice. We'll support the search as best we can, but it'll be your paws on the ground, assuming there is any. But everything will be fine, I'm sure. Heidelin believes in you, so you ought to believe in yourselves. Just don't do anything I wouldn't, like waiting too long to use those portable teleporters of yours. Personally, at the slightest sign of trouble, I'd mash the button to bits, and you should as well.
Understood. We promise to be careful.
I suggest you brace yourselves. We're about to arrive and the vessel will shake a good bit.
What is this? Something is... interfering with the equipment.
Oh no. Oh no.
Greetings.
It's her. Holy crap, she's here.
Greetings. Can you hear me?
Meteon.
So this is Meteon.
Oh. Have you met one of my sisters? I don't remember meeting you myself. But I do know that you're from Atheris. Why have you come? All you had to do was wait. I would have delivered to you your ends.
We didn't ask for that.
I don't understand. All life is destined to end. Why choose to prolong your suffering? Effort, ambition, love, they amount to naught. Happiness, should you find it, is inevitably lost, stolen away by events beyond your control. There is no logic nor meaning in it. You think there is. Convince yourselves. But it's all a cruel accident. Come now. I speak the truth. A truth you would recognize if you looked up at the night sky. Unbroken emptiness. Cold, dark, and silent. Your world, like every other, is but a blemish upon its perfect fabric. Life is an anomaly. It is unnatural and cannot continue. The sooner you accept this, the easier it will be.
Just to be clear, we're not here to argue with you. We know that life is fleeting, and that in the short time we have it, we're not assured happiness.
Indeed. I've seen far more sorrow in the eyes of many I've met. I myself have plenty of regrets. And one day they'll die with me. Gone to dust with my good deeds and unfulfilled dreams.
But we accept this. That our existence may seem pointless. That sorrow, rage, and despair will always dog our heels. And we press on regardless. That is why Hydaelyn guided us here. In her boundless love for mankind, she has prepared us for this trial, and in her name, we have come for you.
Yes, I sense it. A burning passion like unto fury. I know it well. For the same passion once burned in many a star before yours. Suffocated and extinguished now.
Holy crap. Oh, what the hell?
I can't breathe.
You
You approach the bounds of my ultimatum, where emotions dictate reality, where resignation and acceptance unite to embrace the end, where those who yet valiantly cling to life can thrive.
Well, this is bad. Tancred? Where's Tancred?
By the Fury. Thancred?
Where's Tancred?
Meteon has gone as well. Mayhap he awakened first and gave chase.
Everyone? It appears we are at our destination. This is Ultima Thule.
Not that we knew what to expect, but I wasn't expecting this. From atmospheric composition to ambient temperatures, all reading to within permissible range. This place is capable of supporting life.
If that's the case, then Thancred may well have gone on ahead. Let's go and have a look. Meanwhile, I want the rest of you to perform a full inspection of the ship, as well as a biological scan.
Yeah. One thing about outer space in any fiction is that
So it was that the brave wayfarers arrived at last at Dream's End.
Oh boy.
In following their path walked and history written, I am made keenly aware of one truth. Though the curtains may fall again and again, so long as others take the stage, ever shall there be more tales to tell. So, let them bring it to a close, I say. Let the curtains fall upon this, the final chapter in the tale of the star.
The Sea of Stars, Ultima Thule.
Is this a dead star?
As I live and breathe, I live and breathe. The environment itself shouldn't kill us.
Well then, let us search for Thancred while exploring the area. The ship we leave in your care.
Okay, this music is... It is as Living Waste say, I can breathe well enough, but something about this place feels wrong. This music is like... partly creepy and partly relaxing. It's like a creepy... It's like a mix between creepiness and calmness. It's so dark I can barely see anything. Didst thou witness what became of Thancred? So quickly was I overcome by Meteon's malevolence that I saw naught of their altercation. There is a dizzying, disorienting feeling about this place, as if I could lose my footing at any moment. We must be careful. I can't guarantee it will be of help in these strange surroundings, but I've readied a provisions node in case of emergency. Of course, if you encounter any real danger here, I expect you to return to Ragnarok at once. Alright, so this place... is also generally pretty huge. It's got 3 aetheryte crystals. It looks like. Riatara, Abode of the Ea, Base Omicron. Base Omicron? What the hell? Try as he might, Alphino can find no sign of Thancred. We're fortunate this place can support life, albeit barely, I suspect, given the torpid, stale quality of the air. But never mind that, we must find Thancred. Let's begin our search from the prow of the ship. It seems as good as any direction. Try not to stray too far, lest we lose sight of one another. But of what, I wonder? Perhaps we can find something to help us understand the nature of this place. A relic, an inscription, anything. Were you able to find anything? As I feared, and still no trace of Thancred. There's nothing but emptiness as far as the eye can see, which unfortunately isn't very far. Though I can't help but suspect that someone or something is here. There are times I sense it drawing close, and then a chill washes over me, leaving me exhausted. Leaving me with feelings of death and anguish. I felt it too when I was near that thing. What are you talking about? There's nothing there. What? Wait, they can't see the enemy? Before we jump to any conclusions, perhaps we should search elsewhere. Agreed. We found only more questions than we were in desperate need of answers. There's a fair stretch of terrain from the ship's starboard we've yet to explore. Let's try searching there then. Auric, a word before we join the others. Wait, so they can't see any of these dragons. You see them too, don't you? The dragons. As I thought, their presence is tenuous at best, but there's no mistaking it. No doubt your bond with Midgard Sommer and mine with Nidhogg is what allows us to perceive them. Could these apparitions be related to the dragons that now live on Aetheris? Bah, better to leave such conjecture to the others. In any case, we must be careful. We may soon find dragons they can see as well. Death and anguish. What happened to them, I wonder?
Dragons? Here?
What you see is a memory of a world that once was. A world suffering a slow death, whose denizens cried out for the release of oblivion.
What? Their world is dead?
It is. Not a single life remains upon that husk floating in the vast emptiness. These creatures are shadow and shade, perpetuated only to suffuse dynamis with their unending lamentations.
Our friend Thancred. Where is he?
A strange question. He is at your side, is he not? Oh, yes. He is here and there, and everywhere within this space. He would tell you himself if he had form to form words. Huh. Such loathing and uncertainty. You don't know why you still exist. In like manner to the oblivion I send. I tried to drown out your ether with dynamis. Beginning with this Thancred, who came at me despite being unable to breathe. Such a simple thing, unmaking men. In the blinking of an eye, he was gone. Didn't even have the chance to be transformed. Yet somehow, he managed to leave a slither of himself behind. What you call the heart? Or perhaps the soul. In his final moment, he cried out from it. A single word.
No way.
Survive. That wish proved stronger than the despair that ruled here. It overpowered it, causing this space to be remade. Into a place you can perceive, and where life can endure. That you draw breath is proof that his soul lives on. For how long, however, remains to be seen.
Well then, we should hurry and tend to business.
It's futile. You will never reach the true me. I told you, emotions dictate reality in this space. Such changes as you might work will not alter its nature. You may see, but you cannot touch. Walk, but not advance.
Meteon holds too much sway here. How do we contend with a foe who can unmake us on a whim?
I do not know. But Thancred gave his life that we might come this far. We must press on.
Agreed. We cannot turn tail here. Not without something to show for our comrade's sacrifice.
Thancred can't be dead. Lotus pink dye. Regal purple dye. He can't really be gone, can he? Meteon herself said his soul persists. He's the reason we're still breathing. If so, then maybe. I understand now why the Loperites were surprised to find that this environment could sustain life. There but for Thancred's sacrifice. Soul without body, a form of being with which we are not wholly unfamiliar. Indeed, for we existed in a similar state when residing in the first. The circumstances are rather more dire than that. 'Tis true, but I choose to believe he is not forever lost to us. Regardless, in sacrifice he hath afforded us a chance to prevail. Let us not squander it, and ascertain the nature of this realm we might confront and defeat Meteon. Estinian, Auric, would you accompany me in speaking with these dragons? Mayhap they can enlighten us. I would ask the rest of you can survey these surrounds. If there is a path that may lead to our quarry, we must find it. Very well. We can reconvene here when everyone is finished. Midian said that these dragons are shadow and shade, from a world whose denizens sought oblivion. As such, they're not like to be amenable to company, let alone conversation. So please be careful. This looks like it's part of Omega. Level cheater. They led you here as well, did they? It was described to me as the source of their woes and proof of their end. I think I'm beginning to see why. It's a hatching ground, or was. I've seen similar on Aetheris. Midgard so most kind must once have lived and thrived in a place such as this. Vritra said his father was driven from their ancestral home by war and strife. This, then, is the fate of those who remained. Let's have a look around. Maybe these eggs have more to tell of what happened here. Bereaved dragon. Malformed dragonite. Ah, I see what's happened here. Was that your child? Perhaps. Some eggs within Knoll are indeed mine. If life within one did quicken, the beast thou hast in may be of my blood. Yet I do not recognize it, twisted and malformed as it is. Not a dragon in truth, but a reminder of our failure, a testament to our shame. Explain. They descended from the heavens, cold-hearted machines, and with them rode war and death. With fire and fury, rage and rancor, we gave answer. 'Twas a long and bloody battle, but only the beginning. Untold chaos and destruction swept over the star. In the end, the invaders were victorious. Yet when they looked upon their prize, they deemed it unfit for requisition. We were abandoned to our ruin. Survivors sought to put away their shame, to rebuild a futile effort. In purest soil replete with ether did we once cultivate our nesting grounds, but our lands were barren, and any eggs nurtured in such desolation were fated to rot. What few survived to hatch emerge as abominations. We shall have no new progeny. But there are dragons among you capable of journeying to other stars. That there are. Many would make the attempt, each bearing a clutch of eggs. The richest stars were home to the harshest rulers, and the arrival of dragons incited contests for supremacy. When the fire faded, the wars lost and won. They too were reduced to ash and waste. 'Tis the curse of those who seek life, to be drawn into conflict, to conquer or be conquered. A vicious cycle we now choose to break. We tire of conflict, of everything. We wait now in sweet, merciful silence, free from strife and suffering, still as stone. Wait, you claim your kind is doomed, but there is another star. They want only to brood in silence, to be left alone with their grief until time itself comes to an end. The sole reward for senseless bloodshed, a pain I understand, and wish that I did not. What fools we were. But now isn't the time for such thoughts. The others will want to hear what we've learned. Come. I see. They wish to escape what they perceive to be a cycle of conflict. Thank you, Astidian, Oric. As for our part, I believe we are more accurately aware of our confines than before. We started by traversing the perimeter of the island to see if there might be a path leading off it, Sadly, there was nothing to be found. There's no small amount of debris floating about. Could there be enough to serve as a bridge to lead us elsewhere? I considered that, and so I tried throwing a stone into a potential platform to judge its integrity. But it never reached its mark, as it crossed an invisible threshold. Just beyond the boundaries of this island, it vanished, only to reappear above me and fall at my feet. I would not be too quick to presume that what we see outside this space is as it appears. Which is why I returned to the Ragnarok and asked the Lomperates to search for a potential path. However, the ship's instruments failed to provide conclusive data on the surrounding area. Until we know more, I think it's too risky to attempt flying to another island. What Medion told us before, that emotions dictate reality here, might be the key, but I'm not entirely sure what emotion might manifest a bridge to lead us to safety. So what you're saying is, we've no way forward. At present, if it is indeed emotion that governs this island, perhaps it is not Medions, but the dragons that hold us here. They tire of conflict, and have chosen a path of oblivion to escape it. Or rather, they have chosen no path at all, meaning there is no way for the dragons or anyone here on this island to advance. A sound theory, disheartening though it may be. If that is the case, what recourse do we have? They are not like to be persuaded to help us. Their reasoning is built on a history of turmoil and strife. Without irrefutable proof, the future is not as bleak as they believe it to be. Mayhap persuasion is not the answer. Medion meant to unmake us then, and there on the Ragnarok she would have succeeded if not for Thancred's determination. She conceded it was strong enough to overpower the despair that otherwise rules Ultima Thule, and reshape it to a degree. Perhaps it can be done again, in like manner, but overpowering the prevailing emotions. 'Twas Ultima Thule's architect, Medion herself, against whom Thancred did pit himself in a clash of wills, though I mocked no leader among them. As such, I did chance to encounter a dragon possessed of despair far more potent than most, potent enough mayhap to dictate the course for others, and thus to domain to follow. He spoke but few words, chosen carefully, their tone and timbre alone threatening to rend my heart in twain. Challenging his desire to remain may allow us to alter the island upon which we stand. Alas, I fear my vaunted rhetoric availed me not against his calcifying heart, but mayhap one of you will fare better. Then I shall guide thee. All End, they call him, in the dragon tongue. Thou wilt find him nearby, eyes fixed upon the water. Well, what have we to lose? Let's get going.